Now, the ancient tradition recognizes three kings of South India, three kingdoms of South India, with the Pandyas, Chola and Chera. Apart from that, one more, Pallava kingdom, rose to power from the period of 2nd century AD and later. Now, out of these, the Pandyas occupied the extremity of the southern peninsula, south of Pudukkottai. Chola kingdom extended northwards to Nellore, and Chera kingdom laid to the west, which mainly included the Malabar coast. The Malabar coast, which is the western coast of India, below the Konkan coast. We know from the history of Mauryas that Cholas and Pandyas' realms were well known to Ashoka. But as far as Chera is concerned, Ashoka specifies two kingdoms, with Keralputra and Satyaputra. Since races that spoke Dravidian language occupied all the kingdoms of south, they are generally known as Dravidians. Now, during the Vedic civilization, this region was not penetrated by any of the Aryan languages. And these kingdoms completely secluded or were completely separated from the northern India. This region was in touch with the outer world only through the medium of maritime commerce, and these kingdoms were extremely successful in the maritime trade. The ancient political history of southern India is irretrievably lost, and the sources to trace the development of a very high degree of civilization achieved by the Dravidians are scant. It is not possible to define when and how the Aryans penetrated the southern countries. However, most historians take 500 BC as the mean date of Aryan penetration to the southern India. We know from the Maurya history that Ashoka had introduced Buddhism in south, and his son Mahinda had built a monastery in the Chola country. Still, it is impossible to define whether Ashoka and Mahinda saw any Brahmanical influence on those people. Jainism also had found a great favor in those countries. The history corroborated as well as documented of the southern empires begins with the Maurya period. Though the earliest dynastic annals are available of the Pallavas beginning in the 2nd century AD. However, the Pallavas are not included in the three kingdoms of south, mainly because of the reason that the dynasty was an intrusive foreign and non-Dravidian race. Now we will study something about the Sangam literature. Tamilkam and the Sangam age. Tamil is the oldest among the spoken literary languages of South India. The development of Tamil was faster than Malayalam, and it had therefore become a common language for intellectual expression. In Chera kingdom, the prevalent languages was Malayalam, which developed later. Tamilkam, Tamilgam, Tamilham and Tamiz Hakam refers to the Tamil realm or the ancient Tamil country. This refers to the territories under today's Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Pondicherry, Karnataka, parts of southern Karnataka, Lakshadweep, South Andhra Pradesh and Maldives. After the Vedic period, this region saw emergence of clearly identifiable social formation. We know about these from the Ashokan inscriptions as well as indica of Megasthenes. During the 3rd century BC to 3rd century AD, earliest extant which are existing today as works of Tamil literature were created, and which is known as Sangam literature. This was created from 3rd century BC to 3rd century AD. The period from 3rd century BC to 3rd century AD is named after the Tamil Sangams as Sangam period. Sangam refers to the assemblies or confluence. Now, Irayanar Akaporul and Sangam legend. Irayanar Akaporul, Irayanar, Iraiyanar, Irayanar, Akaporul, Akaporul, which is also known as Irayanar's Writings on Love, is a work on Tamil literature which dates back to around 5 to 8 centuries AD. This work has 60 Nrupas or verses. N-R-U-P-A-S, Nrupas or verses. Irayanar Akaporul is the oldest work which gives references to the Sangam legend and gives the first mention of the Sangam period. This reference is in a commentary by Nakirar, Nakkirar, which describes 3 Sangams which span in thousands of years. First Sangam, Mudhar Changam, was held at Madurai, was submerged under the sea. It lasted for 4,400 years and had 549 members and 4,449 poets. This includes authors like Hindu gods such as Shiva, Kuber and Murugan. First Sangam was presided by Rishi Agastya and was patronized by 89 Pandya kings. The second Sangam, Idai Changam, Idaicchangam. The second Sangam is described to have convened in Kapatapuram, Kapatapuram, which lasted for 3,700 years and had 59 members and 3,700 poets. This also submerged under the sea. Second Sangam was presided by Tola Kapiyar, Tolakappiyar, and was presided by 59 kings. The third Sangam, Kadai Chamgam, Kadaicchangam, was held in Madurai and lasted for 1,850 years. It had 49 members and 449 poets. Third Sangam was presided by Nakirar and was presided by 49 patron kings. The legend provided by Irayanar Akaporul says that 8,598 poets contributed to these Sangams and all of them were patronized by 197 Pandya kings and they lasted for 9,990 years. The information is exaggerated and unrealistic and is now rejected by the scholars. This reference is only of indicative importance. Now the basics of the Sangam literature. The scientific analysis of the literature says that this work was composed in 120 to 150 years and most of the literature was composed from 100 AD to 250 AD. There were 2,289 poems available under Sangam literature. Now, there are 2,289 poems available under Sangam literature now. Many of them are very short, having only 3 to 5 verses. 102 of them are anonymous. The number of poets estimated is 473. Earlier extant Tamil work, Tolkappiyam. Tolkappiyam is a work of Tamil grammar, which is said to be the earliest extant work of Tamil literature. There are 3 books in Tolkappiyam: Ezhuttadikaram, Ezhuttadikaram, Soladikaram, Solladikaram, and Poruladikaram, 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 and each of them are composed of 9 chapters. The work has divided the Tamil language into 2 types: the first one is the Sentamil, which is the classical Tamil. Spelling is Sentamil. And the second is Kotun Tamil. That is Kutun Tamil. Kotun Tamil, spoken Tamil. That is Sen Tamil, classical Tamil, and Kotun Tamil, spoken Tamil. Sen Tamil is used in almost all literary works of Tamil language. Now the earliest Tamil work, which is Agatiyam, Agattiiyam. However, the first work on Tamil grammar, Agatiyam, first work on Tamil grammar, which is not extant and is lost irretrievably. Rishi Agastya wrote Agatiyam. Tolkapiyar, who wrote the above mentioned Tolkapiyam, is said to be a disciple of Rishi Agastya. As per the Tamil traditions, Rishi Agastya invented the Tamil language and bought its syntax from the Lord Shiva. So, Agatiyam was the earliest Tamil work, but now it is lost irretrievably. Now the themes of Sangam literature. On the basis of interpretation and context, the Sangam literature can be described into two types, such as Agam, and that is inner, and Puram, that is outer. Agam inner, Puram outer. The topics of Agam are related to personal and human aspects such as love and sexual things. The topics of Puram are related to human experiences and emotions such as heroism, valor, ethics and philanthropy. So the topics of Agam related to personal and human aspects such as love and sexual things, and the topic of Puram related to human experiences and emotions such as heroism, valor, ethics and philanthropy. The poems have also been classified on natural themes, which are known as Thinai, Thinai. The themes are as follows: Kurinji, Kurinji, that is mountainous theme; Mulai, Mullai, that is forest theme; Marutham, Marutham, that is agricultural land theme; Neithal, Neithal, that is coastal theme; and Palai, Pallai, that is desert theme. The literature was lost and forgotten. The Tamil scholars S.V. Damodaram Pillai and U.V. Swamitha Iyer brought it into light. They printed and published different works such as Tholkapiyam, Nachi Narkiniyar Urai, Tholkapiyam Senavariyar Urai, Mani Mekalai, Silapatikaram, Patapatu and Purananaru in different parts of the 19th century, all with commentaries. Now we will study the classification of Sangam literature. Now,